good old intro screens.
Both electing to play on the Japanese cartridge, which honestly, it's only a 1 second difference. So in my humble opinion, unless you're competing for like a really top time or a certain milestone, it's not that big of a deal. But of course, I'm the one who tends to go the route of dabbing, and dabbing is only available in the Japanese version. So hopefully, we'll get one dab out of Padronis or Markinator for the fans / me.
That would explain why I've never been able to do the dab. I've been told how to do it. I've tried to do it, and it just never succeeded. That would be why, because I run USVC.
Virtual console. Commentator got to remember he's got to watch the Discord feed and not the internet browser feed, or else we're going to be a couple seconds behind here. But look at that, both of them hitting Lakitu Skip on their way into Bob-omb Battlefield.
I have stream paused for the browser.
Good call by Shicely. And yes, guys, just a reminder, this is not the start of the 70-star Open. This is just a fun little exhibition match here, hosted by Saren and the boys at the Cool Cat Gang. It's come to my understanding that Saren has got some new streamer tech he's wanting to test out here. Perhaps this is some good, solid testing ground. We're getting a good race between a couple of good friends, so it looks like they're in a voice call with one another, so that will hopefully add to some intrigue and fun throughout it. But yes, if you guys have any interest in learning more about the 70-star Open, or would even like to participate, the links have been provided there in the chat by Saren. And also, of course, there's the Super Mario Odyssey Any % Open. We got a lot of high-octane Mario action coming to you here on the CCG.
Absolutely. Just had an SMO race last night, I believe. So, both are doing quite well. And as we head into Peach's Slide, what's your predictions here?
Padronis, he had... I was going to say 13 flats this morning. That was his PB. I'm going to guess 12-9.
12-9? 12-7.
Ooh. Oh, Markinator.
You won't see Markinator does Womps. Interesting. A Womps 8. Assuming he can get this Owless messed up the first time, but will not mess up twice.
Electing to perhaps go a little bit of the safer route. I don't know how much of a time save there really is, Shy. So I think it's like a very, very, very minute time difference between Womp 8 and Womp 9, right?
When you do Womp 9, ideally, so that means like a 12-8 and lower. It's like a 12-8 to 12-5 usually. You're looking at a max of like 4 seconds of time save. So it's not a huge deal, especially with these two runners being pretty close and not really doing 70s, so shouldn't really affect these runners too much. Kind of like the Japanese cartridge. I mean, I say go for Womp 9. It's a free few seconds of time save, so.
I also think it's just fun to go to the slide because, as everybody knows, Womp's Fortress is the most reset-heavy stage of any of the stages here in Mario 64. Not only just being at the beginning of the run, but despite how easy all the stars may look, it becomes the speedrunner's mentality to get early game so perfectly blue down coin. As Markinator missing a second blue coin, unfortunately. That time, unfortunately, not falling down, but yeah, missing that blue coin originally off the Piranha Plant on the edge is going to cost him a little bit of time.
And not touching the red coin there. As we see Padronis here heading up to Owless double jump. Love to see it. I always like seeing the double jump wall kit. Owless, it looks clean. Alright. Padronis heading over, looks like to do some cannonless work now. Got the texture setup going. Gets it pretty cleanly. Markinator looking like he's about to make his way over to Wild Blue, doing the side flip.
Markinator already
are having a really good run.
Markinator already disappointing this commentator a little bit. We just saw him land OG Cannonless during the practice session. Was not willing to bust it out here in the race and get some additional swag points. You absolutely hate to see it, giving us false hopes for absolutely no reason.
I don't even remember Markinator doing Cannonless.
Just goes to show these guys are moving so fast we can't even see what they're doing anymore. Commentators are completely taken aback at just how quickly the man is moving.
We have a poll in chat right now. Red coin sound, US or JP? What's Dog? What's your opinion on that?
For the red coin sound, you know, I'm personally a fan of the US sound just because you hear it progressively getting higher pitched. I just kind of like having that a little nuance there about just making it sound like you're getting more and more red coins along the way, while Japanese just has the same tone for all 8 red coins. I think it seems like, according to the poll, chat seems to agree with that.
Yeah, I think US has just the better sounds in general. Fly Guy, for example, you hear the boing.
Oh, yeah.
You don't get that in the JP version. All right, Markinator now heading over to slide. What's your prediction for Markinator's 2 slides here, as we're going to see both?
Combined, I'd say his slide times will combine for a 25.4. I'm not going to say the individual slide times, but they will add up to a 25.4. Actually, 25.5.
25.5. All right, and Badronis' second slide. What's your prediction for that one?
He got a 12.7 the first go around. His Markinator comes in with a 12.7. I'll say Badronis will dazzle us all again and get a 12.7 again.
You know what? A 12.5. I'm making a bold prediction here. Never mind. That was not the right setup.
12.8 from Badronis. Yeah, unfortunately not able to get that 12.5. Was a little far to the right on the landing point there from coming down the slide. His Markinator is struggling to get back into the secret window. What do we even call that? A secret window? Like, or what?
Yeah, it's a stained glass window, so.
This one looking good for Markinator, 12.7. So it looks like original prediction was correct, actually. 25.4. Commentator giving doubt, but Markinator looking to shut me down and shut me up 0.1 seconds at a time. You love to see it.
Someone in chat guessed 12.9, 12.9. Don't know how to feel about that. Or sorry, 12.9, 12.8. I can't read, apparently.
Reading is very difficult, especially early in the morning. As Badronis, unfortunately, getting to the save and quit before he can get into Dark World. That's going to allow Markinator some room to catch up here as he's been getting these red coins.
It's such an unfortunate way to lose time, and it's quite the rare one as well. You don't see very many runners messing it up too often, especially at this level.
You know, honestly, of all the places one could save and quit, Shicely, aside from getting Fire Sea, that has got to be the best place to do it. You're already in the lobby of the castle. You just have to get to Dark World. So with, like, you know, being the farthest entry point, or the, like, closest entry point back into the castle, that, honestly, if there was going to be a place for Badronis to save and quit, that was ideal.
Very, very true. Fire Sea obviously being the most ideal, because unfortunately he was already in the lobby and did a save and quit. But I don't know, is there really many other really bad ones other than the basement?
For save and quit, I'd say definitely somewhere in Tippy. Basement and Tippy have got to be the worst.
Tippy literally, like, clued in my head as soon as I said that too. Markinator right on the tail of Badronis now.
Shicely did mention in the booth prior to us going live that they were feeling a little bit sick this morning, so I can understand the discombobulation going on inside the brain. But Shicely, are you at least down with the sickness of the runs that you're seeing so far here?
I was about to say yes, and then I saw Badronis miss the Bowser throw. So that will put Markinator in the lead.
Yeah, commentators curse right on point, unfortunately, with Padronis getting the wide left throw and the bonk into Bowser. At least Bowser was able to booty block him from tragically diving off of the stage. But look at that. We're now basically in near sync with these two through Dark World.
Alright, probably one of my favorite stars in 70, honestly. It looks cool when you do it correctly.
Unfortunately, both of these runners only being a 48 and 49 level, we weren't going to be seeing any island hops, unfortunately. I don't think, outside of any LTA event, I've seen anybody go for island hop in a race format other than Schnoz 64, so one of these days perhaps we'll get to see some swag points busted out, but good island stars from both these guys.
That would be pretty awesome, honestly. Maybe we'll see it during the Open when that starts up.
Yeah, Saren did mention we were going to have a pro league for the 70 Star Open, so perhaps if there was going to be a place to do it, that would be it.
Saren said he had went for it and made a complete fool of himself.
Oh, Markinator taking a spill in CCM as Padronis not able to dive into the star himself. This is one of the things that Nick V brought up when he hosted his tournament earlier this year or last year. I've never understood why people go for this star first. I understand it is the most difficult, as we do see Markinator not quite connecting on the jump dive there, but when you're entering Cool Mountain, you do get that short little text box intro at the beginning when you enter the stage. So when you die, you have to go through that again, which, while not the biggest time loss, is still time loss nonetheless. So why not get something easier out of the way, like a penguin or the slide star, and then proceed to go for the wall kick star? What are your thoughts on
that? I would say definitely the easiest one would probably be the penguin star. Sliding the penguin over to the mom would probably be the safest, just because I very rarely see people die on it. Slide star, I still see people die on that. It can be a little bit tricky if your angle's just slightly off. It's hard to recover sometimes. So I would say your safest bet is to do the little baby penguin.
Unfortunately, Markinator taking that death in Cool Mountain has allowed Padronis to retake the lead, but honestly, only, yeah, about it's 10 to 15 seconds, maybe 15 to 20 seconds separating these two guys still so far. Pretty good start to this race.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, while we're just waiting for... Oh, actually, yeah, Padronis deciding to go for Atom Pass here in his CCM slide. I forgot he did this during his PB. He will elect to get the blue coins and the safety red coin. So then he'll proceed to go for slide skip as we see Markinator go for the typical slide route. I believe there are 77 coins on the slide, maybe 78, so you're allowed to miss one coin on the slide, but unless you're Padronis getting those extra coins, you have to get every single coin here in the beginning, and then go for the slide skip, and there we go, speeding up the penguin race, and now let's just hope Markinator gets a good slide. Yeah, Markinator missing one coin off of that initial jump at the beginning of the slide, so now he has to hit every single coin to close this one out. He did grab the safety red, and thank goodness for that. Is able to get the 85 coins needed to collect the final line of 15 and safely get the star. I do say safely, but the penguin is still on the way down.
Whew. Yeah, I have seen the penguin push players off the edge into their death, so that can always be a little bit scary to see. As we see the 2 stars in BBH from Badronis here. Badronis with a very, very large lead in front of him. Gonna need some pretty big mess ups here. I think only one big mistake from Badronis will put Markinator a little bit closer.
Not even necessarily mistakes. It all just will come down to see who is able to play through these stages a little bit cleaner. We did see Badronis practicing BBH, I think, for a little bit earlier in the segment, but most of his attention was focused on DDD and the upstairs segment, so maybe that's where it'll really come to play, as Badronis getting a very questionable hit on that boo. Is he able to get up that ramp? Okay. Whew. That camera angle always trips me up. I didn't know if he quite made the jump or not.
It's definitely one of the harder ones to see. I guess unless the runner itself notices a possible mess up, you won't even know yourself. It's kind of hard to see at that angle, so that's what I've always found so scary about that strat. Now, funny enough, I'm reading chat right now, and I don't think I've ever heard anyone call them silly kicks.
I have heard the term silly kicks before, but I think mostly it's like just a slope kick would be the common term, wouldn't it?
I've always called them flutter kicks, because you're kind of fluttering up a slope with the kicks, so. Is an oldie term. Am I not that old in this community? Is 6 years not old?
Apparently our age is being shown here in the chat, unfortunately, as Badronis missing Mips. Oh, getting duked yet again, trying to draw him to the left, but at least getting him towards SSL. All right, is able to get him in front of the stage spawn, but Markinator gets a quick grab on Mips. Oh, trying to go for the punch grab, but couldn't get it, but at least gets him in front of SSL and does get the quick grab as well, not having to go around more times.
And
Badronis takes Mips with him.
Carries Mips into SSL here. That's what you like to see.
Taking
and
Mips.
Markinator doing the exact same thing.
Both of them taking Mips through the portal of doom, absolutely disintegrating in the process to SSL as Badronis failing pillarless and takes the death, going for the pyramid backup. This gives Markinator a chance to catch back up if he can get pillarless.
I can't tell if that's my screen size. Is that a small bomb?
I would have thought that was medium bomb, but yep, medium bomb according to Devious and Zenry in the chat. Markinator able to get the medium bomb back up and keep it going. Badronis, unfortunately, looks like he missed pillarless again and now having to get Klepto as the backup. So this is Markinator's chance to retake the lead if he hasn't already here in SSL.
We shall see how Klepto goes. I think that'll be the determining factor because shining atop a pyramid is a pretty basic star. I see people mess it up, but it's a very, very hard star to mess up. Badronis messing up plus yet again. This is not looking good for Badronis here. He needs to get pillarless this time around, but Markinator sitting comfortably in the lead at this point. Need to see a large bomb clus from Badronis here, which we do see. See a Tama plus from Badronis here, which expect nothing less from a top runner.
Oh, having to go around to the other side of the pyramid to try to save the pillarless attempt. Running around trying to figure out what he could possibly do for a backup. I thought he was maybe going to try to go back to the warp or something, trying to long jump off of the pillar and ground pounding down below, but Badronis experiencing a meltdown in one of the hotter stages in the game as Markinator is now cruising his way through LLL.
This is unfortunate from Badronis. This is not a stage you want to see a meltdown in. He's electing to just avoid pillarless, and he's going to add a star to one of these stages here.
Going for the full on. Oh, yeah, not like this motion we saw on the video camera. Shicely, sorry to cut you off. It sounded like, well, yeah, go for it. I won't assume what you were going to say.
I'm very curious to see which star he's gonna go for because doing all the stars here in Lethal Lava Land will only render him with 29.
So, my opinion is the only other time I've seen somebody not get out of SSL with the Pillar of the Star was Good Grief when we saw them compete in the Shirtless 70 tournament. And when that occurs, they will proceed to go for the HMC early set of splits. So I'm wondering if Badronis is just trying to drop that strat altogether and maybe trying to put us all for a twist of events here and go for HMC early.
Interesting.
Because I don't think 100 coins would really be the way to go for Lethal Lava Land, though that would be a good one
Definitely
extra star to get.
optimal. HMC early definitely would be slightly faster, and then doing, I think, SL Reds probably.
Oh, most definitely. We shall have to wait and see.
We'll find out in a couple stars here.
Markinator so far off to a fantastic start here in Lethal Lava Land, getting all of the I don't know. I guess I don't know what you'd really call it in Lethal Lava Land. The overworld stars before you enter the volcano?
Yeah. I don't know. I've never heard it in reverse before. Usually I just hear volcano star. I don't really hear what people call them outside of the volcano usually. Interesting.
But Badronis
accidentally doing a backflip there instead of the ground pound he needed.
Inputs are getting really out of place here for Badronis, unfortunately. Yeah, we saw him do the ground pound instead of the long jump and then going for the backflip instead of the ground pound. May need to reevaluate and see how the controller's going, but Markinator, meanwhile, hit Lava Boost, casually getting the top of the volcano star. Now only has elevator left to go.
He is going to do 100 coins.
There we go. Devious DD in the chat, straight up calling it out. Badronis looking to back it up with 100 coins. I honestly didn't know how quickly this could be done. I thought the fastest time was only about like a minute and a half or so. I'm probably wrong in that assumption. Perhaps this is Badronis we're talking about here. He is a very high level 120 runner, so this is something he's absolutely comfortable with doing.
Well, I definitely do believe it's over a minute still. I think you gotta scale up the side of the volcano the entire way through as well.
Honestly, just a pleasure to kind of see this in a 70 race. I just love, oh, whoo, way to save that one there, Badronis, getting clipped up to the slope but staying on top of the volcano. Regardless, just loving the movement here in the volcano. All those quick jump and roll out inputs for some near seamless movement.
Also, is it just me, Wes, or is it whenever you and I commentate together, one of the runners like to give us a heart attack the entire way through?
Shicey, unfortunately, I've commentated so many events. I wish I've documented them all so I could really, like, I can't remember the last time you and I commentated, but it would not surprise me if we got a heart attack somewhere along the way. And Badronis actually, just a quick little trip there, gave us a pole skip. I kind of even had a little mini heart attack there because I thought that might have failed. Yeah. So I don't think you're too far off.
Then again, I think I have a heart attack every time I commentate. These runners always pull something risky out, almost fail it, and then somehow recover nicely.
I am fortunately a clueless individual. Anytime there's a heart attack in the booth, I try to just block it out and completely forget about it. I don't want to think about all the times I've been extremely anxious inside of the booth. Just want to focus on being in the moment.
Well, I can definitely respect that. As we see Badronis here entering through the 30-star door.
Markinator deciding to be a back sub Barry and play it safely.
I do believe I saw Badronis going for back sub in practice as well, so I do believe that both of these runners are going to be doing it. Mario's foot coming a little close to... Badronis also missing the second to last chest, just like Markinator did.
Doing the chest star has always been confusing to me as a low-level slash average runner. I've never quite understood how the hitboxes go. I always just try to hit the thing chest to chest, just completely touch it on the lock there, but how these guys are able to just barely scrape the edge of the chest and get the hitbox going is well beyond me, not to mention lag reduction, a very unspoken art of running on the console.
You know, just as a 16-star runner, I'm confused half the time with 70.
But Dronis trying to get some time back and go for the chip clip. Unfortunately, did not connect on the punch through to the wall, so going to be losing some time there as well. We do appreciate the swag effort from Padronis. It does look like Shicely, you are correct. The way his camera's lined up, he will be opting to go for the back sub approach as Markinator connects with just a little room to spare on the Lava Boost cycle.
Yep. Also, Wes, how are you going to call yourself an average runner when you have world record in Captain Falcon 64? Come on.
We're talking about Mario 64 here. I'm a low-level to average Mario runner, but Captain Falcon, I am not Wes Dog. I am Wes Goat in Captain Falcon 64 120 star, and nobody will take that away from me right now. Appreciate the shout-out. Thank you.
Oh, always. It's not like it filled up my Twitter feed when you got it. When on Twitter, everyone retweeted it, I swear.
I think it's just because people were even amazed to see someone willing to torture themselves to go for 120. Captain Falcon 64, very popular in the one-star category, but nobody was willing to tolerate the movement to go for longer categories.
I was going to say, the movement definitely looked rough. Yeah, I watched bits and pieces of your runs of it, and very questionable movement, needless to say. Oh my gosh, the leg.
Yeah. The movement does take a while to get used to, but the biggest disadvantage is that Captain Falcon cannot do any slope, silly flutter kicks, unfortunately. Just the moment he goes to a slope, he immediately starts sliding down. The biggest disadvantage, I say, that turns people off from the game. But enough about the Falcon. We need to see some other speedy birds here in the chat. But Dronis having a little bit of a rough start here to his Fire Sea, dealing with the lag, as Shicely did point out in the beginning. Going to be missing on a Lava Boost cycle, so waiting for normal cycles. Markinator absolutely on cruise control right now as he gets into Wet Dry World.
Well, not only Badronis is waiting for normal cycle, he missed the cycle.
Ooh.
So, getting the least optimal Fire Sea possible in this situation, which is unfortunate to see, especially with the significant time difference between these two runners right now.
So Markinator looking like he's going to be opting for getting all of the Wet Dry World stars out of the way first before 100 plus secrets. The typical route you'll see is 100 plus secrets, but the only other runner I've personally seen go for the other 3 stars before 100 coins is Simply. So Markinator perhaps taking a book from one of the gods.
Very, very possible. Oh no, I always get 100 coin first because it's probably my favorite. I think it is my favorite star to do, just because you do every little piece of movement, and it just looks clean when you put it all together.
Absolutely.
Like
Outside of
your speed kicks, it just looks clean. Although that skater RNG is always annoying.
Yeah, taking out a fair share of enemies, going around, breaking open boxes, getting every good piece of movement from the good old-fashioned speed kicks to good old-fashioned triple jump wall kicks. Everything you really need in Mario 64 movement besides swimming, but honestly, who even wants swimming anyways?
Not me. Dire Dogs is probably my least favorite stage.
I'm sure if this was a category that allowed SBLJ, somebody somewhere to be cracked enough to want to skip it because nobody likes swimming.
I would 100% be one of those people.
Now we see Badrone is going for 100 as well, trying to get the Skeeter, but the Skeeter just playing ring around the rosy around the blue coin switch, really giving Badronis a hard time.
Yeah, that Skeeter can be pretty annoying most days.
Oh
Very
my
rarely do I see it in the
goodness!
perfect spot.
Oh no,
Oh.
Patronus!
Yeet.
Wow.
Oh no.
Oh, okay. Thankfully, in an invisibility state to avoid the fire. Oh. This is a heart attack moment, Shicely.
This isn't a heart attack moment. This is like an all-out cardiac arrest moment.
Oh my goodness. I don't think I've ever seen what just happened here to Padronis before, ever. That is actually incredible.
I was waiting for that fire to burn him, honestly. I thought he wasn't going to be able to get up before the iframes kicked in. I'm glad it did, though, because that fire came really, really close.
Commentator's heart rate actually getting up to 98 beats a minute after that whole episode. They're definitely experiencing a little bit of some palpitations. See, Marketeer coming to one of everybody's favorite stars in 70, THI Secrets. Aside from the missed long jump originally into the mountain clip, Marketeer getting a pretty good, clean THI, but Dronis trying to go for the wall kick strat. Unfortunately, did not like his angle. It didn't get a good jump off. Looked like he was jumping off of a sloped part of the slide, so having to go back up and around.
Yeah, and it's kind of looking like Badronis is just having a meltdown in almost every stage here. Lethal Lava Land was clean. Fire Sea obviously had that small meltdown where it cost him an entire cycle. Wet Dry World, just some minor mistakes here and there and getting tossed around by some enemies. Just not looking too ideal for Badronis here.
So it looks like these guys are going to basically be a THI completely separate of one another, as Markinator is wrapping up Tiny Huge Island with the Piranha Plants is okay, there we go. He was having a hard time getting that fifth one to spawn there, but finally does, collecting the star as Badronis is getting the Warp Star.
Actually, I think if you wait on top of the spawn point for the Piranha Plants, I don't think they can spawn. At least that would make sense in this situation. It looked like he was pretty much on top of the spawn point, so I'd imagine that's how the coding probably works in this game. I believe we're still on Badronis's audio here.
Well, yeah, not really too much of a make or break here. Me being a extremely selfish commentator, just wanted to hear the audio of the person in the lead. We won't put too much pressure. There's a lot going on. I know there's a lot that goes into making sure one of these streams goes well. So whenever
new stream tech also, so
exactly. But speaking of stream tech, I guess it's not really stream tech, but speaking of tech, there's been some new tech for some N64 controllers getting out there as of recently. Shicely, have you heard anything about the Udini stick? I don't know a whole lot about it, but know some runners have been testing it out. Do you know much about it?
I don't know a whole lot about it. I keep hearing it though, and I see people on Twitter like posting like, "Hey, my Udini stick came in." The Nomad stick's also one of those things that's kind of coming around right now. I think we're trying to look for a substitute because of the steel sticks not really being mass produced as much as they used to be.
Very unfortunate. Steel sticks, to my knowledge, being one of, if not the most reliable of the third-party sticks out there available, simply has been using a steel stick for the last, I'd say, 8 years or so at this point, and it's still the original one he bought all this time, so incredibly durable and doable. Unfortunately, steel sticks are very time-consuming to make, and we get so few updates on there, so it's just glad to see that the more popular that not even just Mario 64 speedrunning, but the more popular that N64 gameplay has become, we've been seeing a lot more third parties emerge in the market for alternative sticks to help provide us with that fresh experience.
Yeah, absolutely. And Menace in chat mentioning the bruise sticks.
Oh yeah, that's true. And the brew sticks. We did see the Black Friday special for Brew Bowls hit out, and they've already sold out. As Badronis is going for Breezeless.
Ooh, narrowly missing it there. Also, I don't know anyone that actually bought a brew stick.
I don't know so much about the brew sticks. I know the brew bowls made their way back out onto the market. The brew sticks, from what I heard, were pretty good, but Benny, being the perfectionist they are, had many major setbacks with manufacturing the brew sticks. But so far, everyone, from what I've heard, who did get their hands on a brew stick has been quite satisfied with it.
Yeah, absolutely. It seems Menace was pretty satisfied with theirs. So, and Siren not switching audio is probably making one of the least favorable sandwiches. In my opinion,
sandwiches?
Not the biggest fan of tuna sandwiches.
I'm definitely a fan of tuna, but I've never really had tuna in a sandwich before.
No, I like tuna steaks or something, like a filet tuna kind of thing.
Oh my goodness, that's a thing.
But canned tuna, I'm not the biggest fan of.
Whew. Dang, commentator, despite having an egg and ham bagel sandwich, now all of a sudden getting a craving for fish.
I mean, nothing wrong with a little bit of perch on a Sunday afternoon.
I mean, Sundays are the day of resting and treating yourself, right? So would tunas be the best way to treat yourself in terms of cuisine?
Depends on how you prepare it. I usually like to keep mine basic with some basic seasonings if I can ever get my hands on it. I don't live on the east coast of Canada, unfortunately, so getting your hands on a tuna steak is pretty hard to come by.
You're Canadian as well.
Yes.
I am continuously getting blown away at the number of Canadians that are in the Mario 64 community. Outside of some of the biggest runners like Sweegie and Blue Bob, I'm still getting reminded of just how many Canadians there really are in Mario 64, and I'm just honestly amazed.
Yep. Milo's Canadian.
Yeah, I did just learn that the other night in chat. Milo did pop in and tell me he didn't celebrate Thanksgiving, but was rooting for Canada in the World Cup.
Yep. Very excited to see Canada in the World Cup, honestly. It's never happened.
Badronis realizing he re-entered TTM with 48 stars, so having to take a quick little dive off the stage and go into SL. Badronis really out of his flow state right now. Unfortunately, his Markinator still on cruise control, an entire Snowman's Land plus basement stars ahead of Badronis at this rate, as he did get the punch grab on the MIPS, which he wasn't able to do the first go around.
Yep, Badronis struggling with Snowman's head here. Oh my gosh.
Getting the furthest possible ledge grab for grabbing onto the head there. Good job by Badronis. Markinator struggling to get the triple jump off of the box. Does get a go around. I honestly thought the camera angle might have been a little too questionable there, but good on Markinator for backing that up.
Yeah, I mean, notches are your best friend, right? So
true. I guess notches are your best friend for this game here. I'm honestly surprised. I don't know how ROM hack runners are able to do it. To my knowledge, Triforce TK, when he does ROM hack speedruns, he still plays with a Xbox 360 controller, notably with no notches. So I just don't know. You got to be built differently or have a different type of muscle memory to really memorize Mario's movements without those notches?
Um, Honestly, I don't know. Ever since I went to VC, I've obviously done some ROM hacks and everything on emulator, and I can't make the transition. I use an Xbox One controller, and it just feels weird. My movement feels wonky. It doesn't feel as fluid. It feels weird and wrong.
Despite the very unorthodox design of the Nintendo 64 controller, one benefit I will say is the placement of the Z button. I really do personally enjoy having that Z button around as opposed to having to resort to one of the triggers on an Xbox controller, one of the other alternatives for long jumping, just because, I don't know, it feels more natural. I could be speaking with some bias here, but it just feels more natural having a button on the back.
Also, can I just say, I mentioned one thing about tuna and how I prepare it, and everyone's going off about lox, which is a brine salmon. And then it's created an entire chat thing, which I find hilarious.
Chat completely losing their minds over fish in the chat. We are now definitely an aquatic themed chat here. Cool cat gang, more like cool fish gang. Am I right? I'm cringe.
I think because you follow that up with I'm cringe, that's why it was funny.
All right, Markinator now an entire HMC ahead of Padronas. The race is still pretty much his to lose at this point, as he now makes his way into Rainbow Ride. We have seen crazier things in the Mario 64 community. It all honestly will come down to, well, TTC 100s or Lakitu Bounce here in Rainbow Ride. Let's see how Markinator does as he sets up for it right now. Going for the side flip approach.
Yeah, Lakitu Bounce. Probably, it's one of those strats where it's just like, it's easy, but it's hard. If it's not something you're consistently going for, it can be a little bit difficult. But if it's something you know and understand, it is an easier trick. Also, a complete side note here. Someone in chat seemed to use Procon, the Pro Joy-Con, for Rocket League. Gotta say, that is probably the most interesting thing I've ever seen.
Now, if that's on PC, that's questionable, but I mean, if they're playing Rocket League on the Switch, totally understandable.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely makes the most sense.
Because Rocket League is now available free on the Switch. This stream, of course, not brought to you in part by Rocket League, not sponsored at all.
It'd be a heck of a sponsor to get sponsored by Psyonix for a Mario game.
I mean, we just need to get Psyonix to get on board with the Mario 64, I don't know what you'd call it, like the Mario 64 mod for Rocket League, where you had Marios instead of the rocket cars. We still need, honestly, one of those tournaments. The developer Cereal Box was looking into doing one, but of course, real-life stuff gets in the way, and we haven't been blessed with one yet. But perhaps we might get lucky in 2023. Markinator does get Lakitu Bounce on the second go-around, and yeah, to follow up with what you were saying earlier, Shiesty, I don't know if, personally, as someone who's never gone for the trick, just because I still suck at this game, it's easy to understand, but definitely hard to execute, because we even saw Markinator there. He got, on his first try, got the bounce onto the platform, but you only have 5 frames to be able to execute that jump up the wooden slope, and if you are too early or just a little bit too late, you are going to be falling right off of the wooden slope. So, one, easy to understand, very difficult to execute. We still see many high-level runners struggle to get it consistently, even at the highest of levels, and we're only seeing even the crackest of the cracked, like Sweegie or Cheese, regularly go for assless in 70 or 120 runs.
Okay, just one question. I've never heard that. What is assless?
Oh, assless is a strat that was developed by 3 Japanese runners, Gold Rush, Gamiru, and Kano, where you do the Lakitu Bounce strat, but where normally you get the triple jump wall kick onto the wooden platform, on the edge of the platform. If you angle it just properly, you're able to get the triple jump off of the very tip of Lakitu, get onto the wooden platform, and then you can slope kick up to the pole to grab for it. And I guess they call it assless because you're slope kicking towards the pole as opposed to jumping backwards on your ass. So henceforth, it is assless.
Okay, that is definitely interesting.
It was
I don't
originally
think I've ever seen that done.
It was originally called Ultimate Lakitu Bounce, but Kano put it to a poll on Twitter, and of course, shoutouts to GTM for popping in the comments and saying it should be called assless, and the entire community got on board, and it's since been coined as such.
I'll leave it up to GTM to make a random comment somewhere, and everyone's just like, that actually sounds cool. GTM definitely has some of the funniest responses on Twitter for things.
Absolutely. Very creative mind in GTM. Hopefully they get the 14 here soon. They've been on some wicked pacers.
Dude, GTM needs to get it, honestly. And he constantly gets pacers every stream. He gets at least 2 to 5. He was on a 10-second pacer last night, and unfortunately, it did not go as planned.
Yeah, potentially top 3 pacer. Did see that posted on Twitter. It could have been 14.5, low 14.5x possible. Maybe even best case scenario, could have bopped Ouija for 3rd place. Unfortunately, that is 16 star for you. It's just there to kind of kick you in the keister.
Absolutely.
Speaking of kicking
GTM.
it in the keister, we're now kicking it here in TikTok Clock. Sorry, Shicey, go for it.
I just noticed this. GTM not too far back was in possible contention for a world record, and unfortunately it's become a little bit too far out of grasp because of the inability to PB. For some odd reason, GTM struggles with PBing. It is a Wilco situation with GTM. It seems like it's just almost impossible for them to PB. Wilco was on a ridiculous pacer earlier today, and unfortunately it was lost 40 seconds ahead into SSL.
Oh, wow.
Yep. On a ridiculous time. Easily could have gotten the 142 right then and there, and unfortunately, run killer. You hate to see it. Wilco did get the 3-second PB, and after months of not having one, I'm sure it did feel pretty nice to obviously the extent of knowing that you can PB. Oh, the invisible wall there. And not getting the invisible wall there. I know there is one. I seen it hit, I believe, last night.
Markinator still on cruise control here in the TikTok Clock. Now I do not believe he talked to Toad after leaving Rainbow Ride, so he's just now 1 star away from closing out the clock, as unfortunately Badronas just continues to get the minor mishaps piling on top of one another. At this point, I don't think it's a Mario meltdown, it's a Mario avalanche.
Yeah, it seems like he really can't catch a break in this run here, which is unfortunate. Markinator, arguably on probably the hardest star in the entire game, in my opinion. You make one wrong move and you're falling to the bottom.
Just even agreeing with what you were saying earlier with the lack of 2 pounds, this is definitely one of those easy but somehow hard strats. I remember Benji during the 70 star break the record live last year was on world record pace with a standstill red coin star left to go in TikTok Clock, and he ended up falling all the way down and losing 15 seconds and world record just like that. It's absolutely tragic how something can be so deceivingly easy and yet just completely bring it into your run, especially at the very end of a race.
Yeah, it definitely is unfortunate, but we have arguably one of the hardest mechanics in the game. Those are the last Bowser throws. As we've seen, it can be a run killer, or it can help you world record if you're a Ouija. Still don't know how he managed to pull that off.
Oh, Markinator taking a spill off the triple jump dive, but still has the comfortable 3-star lead over Badronas. He can't afford to make a mistake or two like that. We'll see how he's able to shake this one off as Badronas continues to navigate through the clock.
Opting to go for a little bit slower this time around. And I'm interested, standing left side, moving left, or moving right. Looks like it's going to be moving right side.
Oh, unfortunately.
Well, that was the goal.
Yeah. Didn't even know Markinator knew. Moving right side as he gets the zero-framed collision on the farthest left side of the wall there, taking a tumble down below, having to go redo this again. Wonder if he's going to grab some coins along the way. So if that happens again, he might be taking another death here in bits. Let's see if he's able to survive through this one. Going for moving right side.
Well, no, come down a bit. I
Do
can't.
we see a Bedronis come back here?
Yeah, Markinator still. All right, now deciding to go for the left side here as Bedronis is now out of the clock and talking to Toad for the 70th star. It is getting closer as Markinator is now going to just back this up and go for the safety pole.
A bit odd movement there. I don't think he meant to triple jump on that second to last block there. Because ideally you want to triple jump off the last block, do a dive, and you land directly onto the pole.
All right, so Markinator in the pipe as Bedronis has just now entered Bowser in the sky. Possibility still lies there for Bedronis to make a catch-up, but we're going to need to see some missed throws in order for that to be a possibility. Let's see if Markinator can close this one out as he grabs for the tail. That's one.
There's missed throw number 1.
Oh, Markinator going for the Squeaks approach and doing palm spins off the OEM control. Oh no, off the Hori controller, but that's another missed throw as Bedronis is now getting into the pipe.
Markinator can only, I think, miss 2 more throws here. But he will not miss it and does clutch out the win here. Definitely bringing this race a lot closer at the end here. And let's see here, would those missed throws change anything if they were to happen? It does not look like it would have, no. Bedronis does end up missing one.
Markinator being a man of the people and able to throw for content to make this run much closer here. You'll love to see it closing out here with a 52-25 final time on the clock as we see Bedronis connect for the third and final spin, still bringing this to within about 30 seconds between these guys.
Yeah, definitely cutting it close there from Mark, but he does end up taking it.
Right, GG's to both Mr. 99 and Bedronis. I don't know if they're going to be joining us back in here in the booth for their post-game interview, but Shysleeve, what'd you think of that race?
Definitely interesting. Definitely gonna need a pacemaker after that one, 100%. And very interested to see how these runners feel about their run in the end. Both making some pretty large mistakes on both parts. However, Markinator did not lose the lead at any point in time after gaining it back in Whomp's Fortress.
I don't know about Whomp's Fortress. I think it was SSL that was the turning point, but now we've got them both in here. We can talk to them exclusively. Markinator, congratulations on the win there. You're able to take the lead in Shifting Sandland and get on cruise control, but it looks like you experienced a little bit of a meltdown there in Bowser in the Skies. I'm now seeing some sweaty pits make their appearance here on the camera, so is it safe to say you were nervous throughout this race?
Yeah, very much so. I haven't run 70 in a long time. I was just focusing on the stars. I messed up a lot of the castle movements a little bit. But yeah, bits, that movement to get up those wind blocks, like if you haven't practiced those, it's very, very hard. And I haven't touched them in a long time. So I was trying to do the normal movements. Nothing was going right. So I was just like, screw it. I'm taking the pole. That's my normal movement in 120.
Oh, so normal movement is casually moving right side for you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I did moving right side, my 70 PP.
Ooh, okay.
But yeah, it was good. Yeah, that meltdown. It was something though. Definitely going to be practicing that for future races. And
unfortunately, speaking of meltdowns, we do have Bedronis in here. Bedronis, What was your
Hi.
mindset for the rest of the run? Hello there. After the pillarless meltdown we saw there in SSL.
Uh, my mindset was the thing is, it didn't make me like that tilted, but it was just like I just realized like I've been like really unfocused. Like I started off the run pretty well, and then I think at some point I kind of relaxed too much, and then started doing a whole bunch of dumb shit. So I think SSL was basically like realizing that I like just completely zoned out and I needed to focus back in, and then I didn't play that well after that, but it was like just I was paying more attention to each star after Plus. But I can't believe I like the last one, like when I got the wrong angle, like I knew that was a bad angle. I don't know why I ground pounded. So after I did that, I'm like, right, you need to just mental reset and focus on what you're actually doing and not focusing on like what the race or the run is. I don't know. I think I have a problem with just kind of having like sort of like side tangent thoughts while I'm running. So that's kind of what happened there.
I
But-
did also.
Yeah, go ahead.
I did also want to ask this. I've never seen anybody back up a missed pillarless star with 100 coins in Lethal Lava Land. You normally see people, or at least in my experience, I've seen people normally go for HMC early before 100 coins in LLL. Where was the turning point for you where you realized, yeah, forget this, we're just going to totally get 100 coins in LLL?
I mean, that's always what I would do if I couldn't get plus, but I don't do double plus, so I've almost like never had to do that in a run. But it was basically just thinking that, I mean, the point was when I obviously died, because I realized when I got the wrong angle, I'm like, I'm gonna have to get the 4 pillars now, starting from, you know, the Talon area, and I'm like, this isn't working. You know, if I lost the bomb at the beginning, I could have got the shell or whatever. But then I kind of like was upset, and then I died, and then I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing this. So
Yeah,
Very
it's tough to do
surprising,
pillow with
considering-
misses. Sorry.
yeah, it's hard. I wouldn't say I'm bad at plus necessarily. Like, I think I would get plus like 95% of the time. I'll get plus within 2 tries. So that was just like a very weird anomaly, but it was just like a show match. So it's not like
Yeah.
I'm out of a tournament or something. Otherwise, I'd be a little bit more upset.
LLL 100 is like probably the backup for a 120 star runner, because then you don't have
Also
to do
just fun.
lava boost.
That is true. No lava boost. Didn't you die on it or something?
No, I got it.
Oh.
I died shortly after on something. I forget.
Oh, well.
No, most things were clean, but yeah, it was bits. I lost like a minute and a half.
Patronus did show us the absolutely poggers pole skip, though, after getting the 100 coin star, which I thought was a very solid finish to a good backup.
Oh,
That was cool. Yeah, honestly, LLL 100 went pretty well, I think. Like, it's a star that I enjoy practicing. But yeah, that was cool. Also did a few new strats upstairs that I've been picking up from watching like Callie and other people. Didn't get to do all of them, but it was good to have some race setting to do that in. Nothing really went well, but it was good.
Shicely, did you have anything you wanted to ask these guys?
No, I think you covered it all, Wes. Honestly, I can't really think of anything I would need to ask of these 2 incredible runners.
All right. Well, I guess on that note, GG's marketing Madronas, thanks so hard for being a part of the exhibition match here on the Cool Cat Gang. I hope you guys do you feel like the friendship is still intact after this race?
Yeah.
for sure. No, we were actually talking up until like basement, and then we both kind of just focused
Oh.
up and got quiet.
I did forget about that. Yeah, you both were dragged into the waiting room and weren't on mute or deaf, and so I wondered if you guys were talking to each other throughout the run.
Started off talking a bit, yeah. Pretty much what Mark said. The one thing that we wanted to do that was fun was taking Mips into the SSL painting, if you guys saw.
Yeah.
After that, we pretty much didn't talk much.
Just started getting in your respective zones.
Yeah. I raged for like a moment after Pless, and I'm like, all right, I need to like settle down. Oh well. Like, there's not a whole lot to say. Like, you can talk about, you know, the mentality or like the benefits of being in a call. I honestly like being in a call because I think like having someone that you're like racing against, it makes you like more focused when you're like hearing them. So it's good, but I don't think it really changed a whole lot.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it for like, yeah, the very beginning. It kind of helped through Womps, but I actually am somebody who doesn't even keep up with the race. Like, I'll peek in at Fire Sea and upstairs maybe, but
Oh yeah, I didn't check.
but
the
I
stream
don't
at
like
all.
knowing where my opponent is like at all. I just have to play the game. But it was good for the start. I liked it.
Glad to see the camaraderie alive and well here in the race format. Guys, we hope you enjoyed the race here on Cool Cat Gang. Make sure to go follow both Badronis and Markinator_99 on their respective Twitch channels if you haven't already. Badronis, an extremely high-leveled 120 runner and a high-level 70-star runner, and Markinator, a budding content creator machine who just released their world record video breakdown on Bass Hunter 64. Perhaps can see more gems like that come out of the woodworks. And of course, if you liked hearing some of the voices you heard here in the booth, you can follow Shicely and that other dude here on the links provided by Saren. Thank you, Saren. And I guess, yeah, that's going to do us here for this 70-star exhibition race. Make sure to follow and or subscribe to Cool Cat Gang if you haven't already for the upcoming 70-star Open. We're going to be featuring more high-level 70-star races like this here on CCG. And if you'd like to even participate, all are welcome. Signups are available in the link provided at ! Signups in the chat. And of course, Super Mario Odyssey any % open is available as well. Badronis or Markinator, any final words before we transition on to the next race?
Thanks for problems.
Yeah, thank you, GG's, Badro, and good luck to the future runners.